Live. The news on NBC6 today at 6 starts now.
Hey, good morning to you. It is a very chilly start to your Monday morning, so thanks for starting it with us here at NBC6. I'm Sheli Muñiz. We appreciate you waking up with us and starting your Thanksgiving with us. So maybe you're in the kitchen already starting the meal for later on. And you're waking up to now one of the deadliest mass shootings in American history, in a place recently named Florida's safest city. And this week, I spent a few days in Puerto Rico with New York Yankees legend Jorge Posada and his wife as they were delivering thousands of supplies to the western part of the island. And while there, I also got to see my family for the first time after Maria.
Yo dije que no iba a llorar. Qué bueno verlos.
At 88 and 82 years old, my grandparents were living their darkest moments, and quite literally. Maria stripped them of their power and water, like most families on the island.
Oh my God! This is my other grandmother.
165,000 pounds of supplies that we brought over, and it was all collected here in South Florida. So just like my uncle said, he is so grateful for everybody's help here in South Florida. It does not go unnoticed. And yeah, thank you for allowing me to share my story. I tell a lot of stories that sometimes our own or some of the toughest.
And also, I hope you guys like the hat. That's the latest from Miami Beach this morning. Daryl Forges, NBC6 News.
How do you even own that hat in South Florida?
Yeah, how deep did he have to dig in that box to find that hat?
All right, Daryl Forges reporting from Miami Beach. Much more to come throughout the morning on that and his hat. All right, a mom says her son acted in self-defense when he body slammed a fellow student at Citrus Grove Middle School in Little Havana. Police say a 14-year-old picked up a 10-year-old, slammed him head first on a concrete floor. Through social media, we have been getting glimpses of what happened inside of those classrooms through the students' eyes, many recording the moments after the shooting and posting them online. I want to warn you that you'll see this video and it's pretty disturbing, but it paints a better picture of what they experienced.
Hands, put your hands up, please.
So in this video, students, you see them raising their hands as an armed SWAT team comes into their classroom. Some students had shaking arms and hands, while others can be heard almost sobbing there. In the end, officers tell students to put their cell phones away. You see them all had their phones, and then suddenly the recording ends. In another classroom, one student remembers the moment her teacher was shot.
We saw his body for like 30 minutes. We were just like praying and crying and then the police came and we just got out.
You know who shot him?
No, I have no idea. I didn't see anything. I just saw his head because he was blocking the door, so the door was so open all the time. I don't know how we're alive.
Wow. I don't know how we're alive. That was Bruna Oliveira. She says her teacher helped save their lives inside of her classroom. That's how they're alive, because of that teacher. I want to show you this here. I'm sure you've seen it, the billboards.
Yeah, someone paid for that. That's a group that's against where I
What do you say to that?
I don't know what it says.
And being out here, there's a sense of tranquility. It's not as chaotic as it was yesterday. The stoplight right there at that bridge still moves as if nothing happened here. But when you see that bridge that's collapsed and you see that those cars, those front bumpers that are still there crushed, you know that it is anything but calm. And just a few hours ago, when we were getting those feeder bands, we were seeing trees down right there on Ocean Drive, the iconic Ocean Drive. She was talking about stop signs down, and I think she's trying to effort back onto the shot there. She feels okay. She is a tough cookie, but of course, safety
we got to
is
be
our
able to hear her.
priority.
Yeah,
we have to be able to hear her, and we've told all of our crews. We've gotten some emails. Why are you guys having these reporters? Of course, safety comes first. So as soon as somebody feels unsafe, that they cannot do this, they're out of there.
NBC6 anchor Sheli Muñiz is in San Juan, Puerto Rico tonight. She is touring the devastating damage in a neighborhood.
Just minutes after landing here in San Juan, Puerto Rico, within minutes leaving the airport, we went to Isla Verde, and you can find damage and destruction just about anywhere. I want you to look at this power pole here, snapped in half, and take a walk with me if we can. The power lines on this car, falling right on this car here. And it's as if it's frozen in time. And Irma is an all-day event here on this Sunday. You're spending all day with Irma and hopefully us too here. Heavy winds will be around 8 p.m. We'll continue through around 8 p.m. 12 a.m. for marathon to give you some perspective here. And I just got some new information from the Miami Beach mayor, who is saying that that curfew, that 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. curfew for folks in Miami Beach, if there's anybody left in Miami Beach, because they were told to evacuate.
Miles de juguetes pronto estarán en manos de niños de Puerto Rico, gracias a mis colegas aquí en NBC6 y Telemundo.
A lot of news conferences are happening as well.
Yep.
County officials still filling us in on their progress. So as soon as one comes up, we will have it right here live on air and on the NBC6 News and Weather app. And one just quick thank you again. We've gotten some notes here from viewers who are just saying thank you so much for your time. And so we want to thank you for tuning in and trusting us this week. It has been a heck of a week for everyone. We're wishing power restored for everyone as soon as possible too.
This is what we do.
6 o'clock your time right now, and we are going to get started with some breaking news that is coming out of North Bay Village. That is where rescue crews are working to put out a fire that broke out this morning at a high rise. So let's get over to NBC6 reporter Melissa Don. She is just arriving there on scene. And Melissa, what have you been able to find out?
A world without human trafficking. You get me?
I do get you, and I like what you're doing. And you're just 10 years old.
Yes.
Some people might think you're too young for that.
I'm turning 11 in September.
Oh, 11, excuse me. You're doing something right, Paulina. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with my arms.
1, 2.
Nice. Good. Now I'm out of breath and I'm done for the day. We'll leave it to the pros. If you don't want to know how she did, go ahead and close your eyes, cover your ears for about 30 seconds, okay? Starting now.
You ready? Here we go.
You know, you get a whole new appreciation for ice skating when you're actually on the rink trying it yourself and you realize I can't even stand straight on these skates. So Coral Springs has welcomed us with open arms. Say hey everybody, this is Frankie P here from Y100, some of the Florida Panthers family here. We're actually at a shelter at a school that's essentially been transformed into homes for so many people. I want to actually turn off this light here so you can see just how dark it is. There's no power here. We're being basically using our light here from the camera. Can you turn it back on again? There we go. A whole lot of scooping and slurping earned a Virginia man the World Oyster Eating Championship title in New Orleans. Can somebody do a well-being check on this man here? I actually want to stay on this topic for a moment. Understanding and including people with disabilities. A big shout out to Ark Broward and the newly crowned Little Miss and Miss Ark Broward. Taylor Burgoyne. And that is not stopping her, and it did not stop any of these 20 girls who were out there who face challenges every single day. But when they got on that stage, they shined, and everyone who attended and just supported and cheered these girls on. The fear. And, oh boy, do I have to read this word?
You know what? You can read it. It's the second bullet point right there.
Okay, the name is Frigatriska, whatever. Phobia.
Yeah, it's right
I don't
there.
know how many times I practiced this before the show, and it still didn't work out.
It's not going to happen.
Say that 10 times fast. Some fun facts for you. There will always be one Friday the 13th every year, but there can be up to 3, and you know it's coming if the month starts on a Sunday. Friga what? Frigatriska.
Yeah. You know what? I think you made a really, really great attempt, and much better attempt than I would have. But I think
Why did they give Eric this read?
Yeah, because they know better.
With NBC6 morning anchor Sheli Muñiz with the latest.
Yeah, Kelly, ever since we've been reporting on the disasters, so many viewers have asked, what can we do to help? And this is a great way to do so. We are taking donations all day today here at NBC6 alongside Telemundo 51 and working with the American Red Cross until 10 p.m. So you have all day to make some phone calls, and we've already gotten a number of calls since we started at 10 o'clock this morning. And take a look at our volunteers. We are so thankful for them, who are donating their time to help others here. And I want to talk to Nuri. She has been here since very early this morning, and she said if you donate, go ahead and get your neighbors to call in as well. That question this morning, how did this happen? That 970-ton pedestrian bridge that was supposed to save lives, help students cross Sweetwater to campus here. So many questions, and we do know that multiple agencies have arrived while you were sleeping here to head up this investigation. We got some new video in with the last few minutes here showing you that rubble removal. This is a very slow and meticulous process, and check this out here. heavy equipment to remove those concrete slabs. This is a slow process because Miami-Dade Police Department telling us this entire bridge is in jeopardy. You have victims who are still there, 8 cars trapped under this bridge, and you also have rescue teams. They need to be careful also to preserve evidence as well. Just within maybe the last hour or so, we got our hands on an interview here conducted by NBC News. His name is Richard Humble, and he is an FIU sophomore. He was actually sitting at the red light, and I want you to listen to what he described as he heard that bridge collapse.
I heard a creaking noise first.
It is so chilling to hear him talk about his best friend that he lost, and we are not identifying that person. No one has been identified. They are not releasing ages. They're not releasing sex or anything at this point until they can thoroughly vet out and talk to these family members and their loved ones. So many resources that you'll hear about in just minutes. We do have team coverage for you. We have Julia Bagg, who is at Kendall Regional Medical Center, working to find out anything that she can about these victims and how they're recovering. We also have Andrea Cruz not far from me. She has been talking with Miami-Dade Police Department. A huge tragedy that this campus and our community is dealing with. And Andrea, you are not far from me in campus, and being out here, there's a sense of tranquility. It's not as chaotic as it was yesterday. The stoplight right there at that bridge still moves as if nothing happened here, but when you see that bridge that's collapsed and you see that those cars, those front bumpers that are still there crushed, you know that it is anything but calm and tranquil out here, and it absolutely is gripping and it's moving, and we just hope the best for these loved ones here.